57% of the rare metal powering your EV and steering a stealth fighter comes from a single toxic war zone. It's dug out of the mountains of northern Myanmar. It's reportedly controlled by an armed militia, and almost all of it flows into China. You've been told to fear China's rare earth monopoly, and you should. But the truth is worse than the monopoly. Here's the strange part. When researchers started asking where China actually gets it, the answer cracked the whole empire. The hard part was never digging rare earths out of the ground. It's refining them. Separating one nearly identical metal from another is brutal, toxic chemistry, and China spent 40 years mastering it while everyone else looked away. Today, China refines around 90% of the world's rare earths. And for the heavy ones, the ones that matter most, it controls close to 99% of global separation. There is no heavy rare earth separation at scale anywhere in the West. So when Beijing tightened export controls on dysprosium and terbium in 2025, magnet shipments reportedly collapsed by roughly 3/4. The world found out overnight who was holding the valve. It looks like China holds every card, but a refinery is just a furnace. It needs fuel. And China's domestic mines are capped by strict quotas, nowhere near enough to run the monopoly. So where does the raw material come from? One place, mostly. In 2023, Myanmar supplied about 98% of China's heavy rare earth imports, more than double China's entire domestic mining quota, a trade that exploded from under $400 million in 2020 to $1.4 billion by 2023. The refinery that the whole world is afraid of runs on ore it has to import from a country in the middle of a civil war. This is Kachin State. After Myanmar's 2021 military coup, the mining here didn't grow, it detonated. What was a handful of mines in 2016 became more than 2,700 leaching pools across an area the size of Singapore by 2022. And the way they pull the metal out is its own kind of violence. Workers drill holes into the mountain and pump in ammonium sulfate until the earth itself liquefies. The runoff drains into those blue pools laced with acid, ammonia, radioactive elements, and heavy metals. According to environmental watchdogs, no formal safety review has ever been conducted here. Not one. The rivers that feed the villages downstream run poison. This is the invisible first link in the supply chain. A poisoned river ending in the magnet inside your phone. This is the blind spot. China owns the refinery, but it does not own the mountain. 57% of the world's dysprosium and terbium, the beating heart of China's whole monopoly, comes out of a war zone Beijing does not control. The choke point you were told to fear is standing on a second choke point, a choke point on top of a choke point. And that war zone just changed hands. In October 2024, reports emerged that an armed group, the Kachin Independence Army, seized the mining towns of Chipwi and Panghua. According to reporting, those sites account for about half the world's heavy rare earth production. Let that land. The raw material for the West's electric vehicles, its wind farms, and its guided weapons is now, in part, controlled by a non-state militia. And according to regional monitors, they've started charging tolls, a levy on every ton that crosses the border, at a reported fixed rate. A militia in a fractured state is now reportedly helping set the price of the metal inside your car. Not China, not Washington, them. Now you can see the whole trap. The West wants to break China's grip. To do that, it needs heavy, rare earths. But the only source at scale outside China is this, a radioactive, unregulated mine in an active civil war, run by an armed group. The West can't secure it, and it won't build one like it at home because refining rare earths this way means poisoning your own rivers, and no Western voter will accept the mine in their backyard. That's the deal China made decades ago. It took the monopoly by agreeing to take the poison. And when the raw ore comes from Myanmar, it took the monopoly by letting someone else take the poison, too. A few Western projects are finally racing to build heavy rare earth separation of their own. It's real. It's brave, and today at scale, it's essentially zero against a rival that controls 99%. The uncomfortable truth is that there is no clean version of the magnet in your pocket. Somebody, somewhere, is breathing the ammonia so you don't have to. The choke point was never the refinery. It's the poisoned mountain feeding it, and everyone who needs that metal is quietly hoping you never look at where it comes from. Myanmar closes the processing trap. The resource was never the choke point. It's who refines it and who bleeds for it. But there's one material even China has to import to keep its own factories running. And if that single supply line were cut, a factory floor on 3 continents would go dark overnight. That's next.